Hello. One of these days, I'll get in here and make sure that my mic is selected before I begin streaming. But until that day, hello. Good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is for you, wherever you are. Hello and welcome to tonight's Create Along. I'm Sarah. I am the creator and host of the Right Now podcast. My alarm is going off for my tea. I have a beautiful. I feel like the last three times that we've had a create along, I have had oolong tea, and I have oolong tea again. So I just like it. Let's see. Hello, JC Henry is here. Hello. I'm gonna pop over here to the Twitch chat and take a look there too, because I see folks are saying things. Hello, hello, Sarah is here. Hello, Mike is here. Carmen is here. Flymoo2 is here. Aries Toddle is here. Allie, hey, hi, Allie. Yes, happy time zone. LOL. Yes, beautiful. Tiffany is here. Hello. Greetings from Atlanta. Ooh. I never ask. I know I watch a lot of streams where the host tests the chat, like, oh, is our chat working? If so, let me know like where you're from. I don't want to ask you for your like personal information, but if you want to say like, oh yeah, I'm from Arkansas, I'm writing over in Cameroon tonight, like, let me know. Love Atlanta. I'm here in the Midwest and South Dakota where nobody else is, so that's fine. I'm excited for this evening. It's been kind of a long week and it's only Wednesday. Um but I've got my water as well as my tea. I'm excited. Oh, Chicago. Oh, that's fantastic. Hello, 0805. Oh, first full stream. Hello, welcome. I am very glad you're here. Upstate New York, Chicago. Oh, yeah. Uh, the Art Impressionista says I'm here with you about that long week. Portland, Oregon, Massachusetts. You guys are more widespread than I kind of assumed. New York City, JC Henry. Fantastic. Texas. Texas is, well, I'm not going to tell you that Texas is fine if Texas is not really super fine. Your new Twitch. Yes, Lynn, hello. Hello. I always think Unicorn Publishing is just such a wonderful name. I'm a big Unicorn fan. Let's see. Sarah says it is a long week, even if Monday was an off day. Yes, I feel like I had a week in the last 2 days. Me too. Way too much stress for what my body can hold on to. Sarah, I feel that so much. Yeah, Allie says Texas is Texas. Fair. Oh, I've had some weird experiences with Texas. Like, either I'm there for something like really creative, like I've been to Texas for the Austin Film Festival, and I was there for Podcast Movement one year when it was held in Dallas. And either that or like I have a lot of family in Texas, and so the last time I wasn't there for like a creative conference, I was there for my grandmother's funeral. And so there's just a lot going on in Texas for me. So, oh my gosh, wait, we had a Monday this week. I don't remember. Uh-huh. That's whether or not you even had Monday off this week. Like, I did not have Monday off because I'm self-employed. And when you're self-employed, every day is a work day. Um, I'm not saying that to like garner pity or anything, but you can pity me. That's fine. But yeah, it's been a weirdly long week. The art impressionista, aka Lynn, says Austin is fun and they have a fabulous food scene. Yes, they do. Almost as good as Portland. I've only been to Portland once, again, for a podcasting conference. And the food there, I stayed with friends, and so we cooked in their house together. But we did go out once or twice, and the restaurants that I went to, one or two of them, the whole time I was in Portland, were very good. So thumbs up here. Am I coming to FinCon? I don't know what FinCon is. Allie says, I miss hanging out with podcast people. I know, Allie. Actually, when I was in Portland, I was staying with Travis and Caitlin from the White Vault, although they're no longer in Portland because they've moved to international lands. Portland in September, Financial Creator Conference. Ooh. Oh, you know what? I have heard of that, Lynn. I know a lot of people in the entrepreneurial. Sorry, this isn't me like I know people everywhere, but like I know people in the financial space who in the entrepreneurial space who go to that. Interesting. I do love a conference. Although if I'm gonna go, like I like to try to be a speaker, so here's my strategy. I always apply to speak at conferences that I want to go to because if you're a speaker, get in for free. This is this was my like secret for I used to work for a marketing company. Oh, JC Henry says my day job starts on Thursday until the weekend. Mondays are off days, but writing. Oh, I like that. Both my sisters have non-traditional schedules too, and like that JC Henry. Um, but yeah, my strategy back when I was working in marketing was I would ask like, "Hey, can I go to like Mini WebCon? Can I go to Confab? Can I go to some of these, you know, conferences?" And they're like, "Yeah, if you use paid time off and you use your own funds to go." And I'm like, "But I would be learning and like getting stuff for a job. It's work related." And they're like, "Well, how about this? If you go and represent us and pay your own way and get there however, then you can have those days like off when really you're networking and you're working." But yeah, so I applied to speak at a bunch of conferences and that's how I started that's how I started both A, public speaking, and B, going to conferences. So that's a thing. That's a thing. Oh, let's see. Steve Stewart. Oh yeah, yep. They pick up your ticket. Yeah. Yes, if you share a room with 3 friends, it's much more budget friendly. Yes. Yes. Or if you can like find somebody in the area to stay with who you know. Yeah, conferences. I kind of stopped going to conferences, when COVID hit and it's been hard to like get back into it. I went to Austin Film Festival last year, so just in October here. And that was really nice. But that was the only one I went to last year. So, yeah. Yeah, how are people feeling other than it's been a long week despite being Wednesday? Yes, yeah. Do your best to get clients so you can have an ROI at conferences. Yeah. I mean, for in my experience, conferences are kind of what you make of them. And like if you go and if you are a speaker, it gives you kind of credentials, it gives you access to a green room, like the speaker room, and so you can like rub shoulders with other speakers, which is often a great way to network. Um, Sorry, this is not like Sarah's public speaking 101 class. The math is matching again with my family tree and I need it to not. Oh no, Allie. Allie, I know you've been working on a family tree project and it sounds like you're still working on that this week. What are other folks going to be working on this evening? What are you going to be working on? Oh my gosh, Sarah, are you okay? Sarah says I had a biopsy this morning, feeling a bit off. Oh, I'm crossing my fingers here with you, Sarah. I'm I don't want to like pry too much into your personal stuff, but um I recorded sorry, this is not about your medical stuff. I'm just saying um yeah, Fly Mewtwo says best wishes, Sarah. Yeah. Um okay, wait. Allie says, how is someone both my 44th and 48th great grandparent? How? I'm not touching that one because that's like multiple I don't know, Allie. I don't know. Maybe it's just two people with the same name. Let's go. I like that theory. Let's go with that theory. Two people, same name. Yes, that's what's happening. Um, but yeah, Sarah, oh man, I'm feeling for you. I recorded a Right Now podcast episode. That's like the one thing I've been able to do this week. I'm also like going through some medical stuff, hence why I'm sitting on the floor in my office and not at my desk. I recorded a podcast episode on the floor about um, when you're going through stuff and what your creativity and your life look like during that time and the different choices that are in front of you. And so I don't know. I only just started editing it. I wanted it to come out Monday, but it is Wednesday, my dudes. So it's not coming out 2 days ago. Um, I don't know if that would be helpful or if it's just helpful for us here in chat to say that we're thinking of you and like fingers definitely crossed. I know that medical stuff is really scary. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. Don't worry. Good. Okay. Well, we're still thinking about you. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Mike says trying to figure out what I'm going to do in my next novel for while I wait for edits in the current. Okay, I need to take my tea bag out of my tea since my timer went off a while ago. But Mike, I am very excited for you. The last time that we were together for a create along, um, you had finished and you had sent the novel off. And so are you ready to jump into the next one? Because if you are, that's like super exciting. And I mean, do you have like ideas? Do you keep a list of ideas for like, okay, like once I'm done with this project, then I'm going on to this project and this one? Or is it just like, well, I finished that project. Time to start thinking about what's next? Good, yes. Carmen says I'll be working on my current story. Does anyone here use Plotter? I've heard of it, but I haven't used it myself. Oh, Sarah says my mom used to be an oncology nurse, told me not to worry. Yeah, but then again, I'm glad that you have her to tell that to you. Yeah. Tiffany says I'm revisiting my manuscript, about 20% done with it. Yes. Stress levels hit my health. Oh no, really hard yesterday, so writing is my comforting joy. Good. Good, good, good. Tiffany, I hope that that brings you some comfort and joy tonight. Oh boy, yeah. Dealing with that stress, I don't know. I guess writing is a way of dealing with that stress. Um, but I deal with that stress. I'm sure that most people in the chat deal with that. It's just, I don't know, it's just such a I don't want to say it's its own pandemic because I feel like that like I don't know, takes something away from the gravity of COVID, but like anxiety is a problem. I just yesterday started listening to an audiobook, Meditations for Mortals by Oliver Berkman. And, he talks about how we're all just sick with anxiety and, whatever else is going on, depression, overwhelm, busyness. Um, so yeah, I feel you there. If the book is helpful in that regard, I'll let you know. Um, I really liked his other book, 4,000 Weeks, which was about it was also kind of about stress and time management. And I really liked that one. JC Henry says, I'm working on the April writing project, the space opera and writing longhand. I love to hear it. JC Henry, I love to hear it. That is wonderful. Let's see. Lynn says it's great for storylines and character. Yeah, I haven't used it, and I'm not even really sure what it is. Like, so in my writing, I use Scrivener, which is more of like I don't want to say word processing, but it's like a tool for, you write in it, and then like you can store your notes in it, and you can put in little pins, and like you can have an image gallery for inspiration. So I really like using Scrivener. I have not heard much about Plotter. Yeah, Mike says I have a rough idea, just not sure how to go about it. Ooh, I think I want it to be part murder mystery. I do love a murder mystery. Have your other books had mystery elements in them? I'm curious. Lynn says writing keeps my head from exploding in little tiny pieces. Yes. Oh, I know, Sarah. Sarah says, remember when we were kids and we couldn't wait to be grown up and deal with the grown up life? I don't know. There's just something about thinking another phase of life and thinking that all of your problems are going to magically go away. I don't know if it's wishful thinking or magical thinking, but I have thought those things. Yes. Yes. It was more, yes. Lynn says it was more romantic because we didn't know the realities of what to expect. So, yeah, Scrivener definitely has a learning curve. Yeah. Yeah. 0805 says, I should be editing, but I'm sick. Oh no. So I'm trying to rest today. I'm going to try to get some done though. Oh, I also talked about this in my Right Now episode that I just recorded. And I talk about, um, when you're sick, you know, should you work on your creative stuff? Like, will it make you feel better? Will you be working on it because it makes you feel better or because it makes you feel less guilty about not working on it? Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Yeah, I hope that you are able to rest. Whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you're able to get some rest. I actually spent some time resting today. I just around 12:30, no, maybe closer to 1 o'clock today. I was just like, I had to step away and I told Tim, I was like, I just need to go lay down for a while. And there's just a lot going on. Sarah says, I tried so many writing programs. I keep going back to Google Docs. Yep, you can access it from everything. My husband and creative partner Tim does exactly the same thing. He has Google Docs for life. And I'm actually a little envious because, like, in the evenings he can just like bring up his manuscripts on his phone. And I'm like, well, if I wanted to bring up mine, I'd have to like go get my laptop and pull up Scrivener, because it saves locally. Oh, okay. Mike says no, kind of a different genre for each book. Okay, action adventure, heist, space opera. The one at the editor is a fugitive story. Very cool. I like that. That's great. Have you had a favorite? Which one has been your favorite to write? Or might the mystery be your favorite? I know, Sarah. I think it's just something in the air. Sarah says, I wonder how you always manage to have episodes coming out that, yes, that deals with exactly what I need to hear. I don't know. I think it's just some kind of zeitgeisty thing. Um, because I was texting with a friend earlier today who was also not feeling great and going through some stuff. And I was like, well, have I got an upcoming Right Now podcast episode for you? Anne, hello. Anne writes inspiration is here. I am a Word nerd. I love it. Word, Microsoft Word used to be my program of choice. And then I had to switch to a Mac for work because I was in marketing and everybody in marketing, like for designing purposes and stuff, everyone that I worked with used Macs. And so I became a Mac convert. And Mac does not have Microsoft Word unless you pay for it. And so I used Google Docs for a while. And then I got nervous that Google was using my work to train AI at the time before this whole boom happened. And so I pulled everything off of Google Docs and just went to Scrivener. So yeah, Word is the most accessible for you. Yeah, I know that that's probably with accessibility issues. I think Scrivener would be a nightmare probably to try and use. Yeah. Sarah says I want to read this space op. 0805 says I'm a Google Docs girl. I like this. I like this variety. I mean, and I don't just use Scrivener. I mean, mostly. Actually, I was just doing some writing earlier today. I was doing J.C. Henry. I am also a big handwriting person, so I ended up. I start there, and then like once I have a some kind of semblance of something, then I'll start typing it out into Scrivener. Oh, Aries Tuttle says I use both OhmWriter and Scrivener at your recommendation. I just saw OhmWriter and I was like, I love OhmWriter, so I recommend it. Yes. Yeah. Lynn says I love my Mac. Been using Apple for 25 years. I have grown to love it. I have grown to love it. I just like how long everything lasts. I still record Right Now podcast episodes on my other laptop, which is almost 15 years old and still functional at this point. So Mike says the fugitive one was probably the easiest to write because it was very straightforward. I'm nervous about botching the mystery. Right, either too hard and comes out of left field or too easy. I have never written a like strict mystery before. Mike, I would also be terrified of the balance because it's, you know, you tip too far one way and your audience can't figure it out. You tip too far the other way, your audience gets bored. So, good luck. Let us know if you find if you come across any, I don't know, nuggets of wisdom in writing your mystery. Yeah, Allie says I found Google Docs to be the most accessible. Yeah, you can access it from anywhere. Ooh, a remarkable. Sarah, let us know how that works for you. It switches your bad handwriting to computer font. That's great. Oh, the pen breaks easily. Good to know. Good to know. I would probably sit on it or something and it would just break. And then I'd be sad. JC Henry says I mostly use Word and I use Google Docs as backup. I tried Scrivener but lost the account when my laptop broke. Oh, I wonder. Well, I was gonna say I wonder if you emailed them if like they could help you restore it. I mean, it's a small enough company. Maybe try email. I don't know. Or maybe at this point it's just, you know, a lost cause or it's kind of just a moot point. But Tiffany says Microsoft Word, but I don't want to admit how many laptops my manuscript has survived. I feel you there. I feel you. Oh no. Oh, Sarah says the pen is magnetized to attach to the tablet, so it helps not to sit on it. Oh, I would sit on both at that point, and everything would be broken. Oh, the tea is good. Okay, friends. I know I'm always like, oh, we'll just talk for like 15 minutes and then we'll get into it. And here we are at 23. Or your cat would sit on it. My cat would definitely sit on it. My cat sits on everything. So, even and especially keyboards when I have like documents or like audio editing projects up and it's like please do not accidentally delete everything. So yeah. Once again, if I have not welcomed you yet or if you do not yet feel welcome, welcome to tonight's live stream create along. We're going to do a little bit of writing slash creating. I know different people are working on different projects. We've got some novelists, we've got some poets, we've got some short story writers. Alia's working on a genealogy project. Oh, good. Okay. Mike says I love the chat. It's why I come. Okay, good. That makes me feel better. Good. Oh, good, good. Well, I like it too. It's I, you know, I haven't been able to like leave the house in a while now because of my hip. And am I starved for social interaction? Maybe. So I'm really glad that you're here tonight to do some chatting. So yes, I appreciate. I appreciate. So yeah, if you've never done this before, hello and welcome. What we do is we chat for, I say 15 minutes. It ends up being 30 minutes. We chat for 30 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is mute myself and I'll leave the chat open. So I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. And so I'll leave both of the chats open so people can still talk amongst themselves or yourselves. It just won't show up on the screen, so it's not distracting. If you want, on your end, you can play music, white noise, perfect silence, whatever it is that helps you get into the creative zone. Mostly, I'm here to be an accountability buddy for you. I have ADHD, and I know that a lot of other creators with ADHD find it helpful to work alongside someone else who is visibly doing the sort of work that they're doing. So I would love to be an accountability buddy for you. Um, ooh, lidocaine patches. I have not. I have not ventured out into, I don't know. I'm very like cautious about like, oh, is this going to give me a skin irritation or something? But yes, I should be trying different things for that. Yeah, Mike says I work from home, so unless I have something, I can go a whole week without leaving the house. Definitely here for the social interaction. Yes. Lynn says, what creator doesn't have ADHD? Well, there's the ones that are diagnosed and then the ones that haven't been diagnosed yet. I joke. I joke. You might not have it. I don't know. Glad to be here too. Oh, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Thank you, Tiffany. 0805 says I have a lot of shoulder pain. Oh, roll on lidocaine. Oh, okay. I've never tried lidocaine, so I have physical therapy tomorrow. So maybe I'll ask my therapist like thoughts, and yeah, maybe that'll be something that'll help because I don't know. You don't need to know all this, but like I don't know. I try to keep like low chemicals, like low uh try to keep medications like as minimal as I can. I mean, I also have like asthma and a bunch of other stuff, so I do take a number of medications. But yeah, if that's something that goes on externally, that would be great. Oh, you originally used the patch. Oh, after I can't even say that shoulder surgery. How's that? I am a professional speaker. All right, friends. I'm going to go ahead and get us set up here to begin. Um, but yeah, feel free to hang around. Feel free to wander away. Feel free to hang out and continue chatting. Whatever it is that works best for you in your creative flow. You need to shut your desktop down. And I'm happy you stopped by. Thanks for being here. Um, and for anybody else, this is like you don't have to formally like say like, hey, you're not trapped here is what I'm saying. You need to go, then go. There's no hard feelings, there's no obligation. You're here just to hang out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put up our little writing time thing. So we'll go ahead and we'll write/work for the next about hour and 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do some more chatting, and I'll be curious to see how this went for you and how you felt about the time. I'm going to be here. I don't know. I have like three projects I need to be working on. If you see me putting on my headphones, I'm working on the new Right Now podcast episode. I'm editing that. Um, so yeah. And if I need to disappear and like go get something, then I'm gonna put up a little BRB screen so I'm not like flailing in front of the camera. So, all right. Thanks for being here. Let's do some creative stuff. Here to very gently tell you that I'd like to welcome you back, Evers. Unless going really well, or in low state, in which case I encourage you to keep going. How are you feeling? What was this time? Um, I'll put our chat back. Go. Davis, am I muted? Am I muted? No. Oh, you had the volume down. Okay, good. I was like, oh no, the perennial problem is sarahmuted.com. Um, good. No, you're not. Yes. Okay, good. You can hear me. Alpenhorn. Alpenhorn substitute, which is just me talking, I guess. Bye, Davis. How are folks feeling? What did you end up working on? Was it what you thought you would end up working on? Yeah, let us know. Good. Tiffany says, woo, what a trance a good writing session can get you into. Yes, I love that. Yes. I ended up, I don't know if I ended up in a trance, um, which sounds like a really nice flow state in which to be. Davis says, had a good session. The handwriting of work is going insanely well. I think more about what I'm putting down as I go. Yes, I don't know if you saw me scribbling away, but I was also doing some handwriting. And I know for me, Davis, I have a similar experience. I think a little more clearly, a little better. Um, I don't know necessarily if I have better ideas, um, but I do get to think about them, and I feel more clarity with them. Allie says I made progress on my family tree, and everything was going smoothly until just now. Oh, did something happen, Allie, or do you just you just need to get back into it? Because mute me and keep going if that is helpful for you. 0805 says, I didn't get much done, but I got to take time to pet my dog, so he appreciated it at least. I love that. I love that. Your dog needs love and care. And ultimately, I don't know. I struggle with the, what should we call it? The cult of constant productivity that we're in. I don't know. And I actually journal a little bit about this too. Um, Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on us to be productive at all times. And I've been struggling with that this week with healing in my hip. And yeah, it's frustrating when all of these signals are shouting at you, like, hey, you should be doing this work. You should be doing this. You should be doing this. Your life has no meaning if you're not doing this. And being able to step away from that is really difficult. And I don't even know if I'm there yet. I don't even know if I can do that yet. I know productivity, not productivity group, but I don't know, mindfulness folks will say, it's a practice, you can get into it, but I still struggle with it. Oh, Ellie says more family wreaths appeared after a time of having none, lol. I get it. Yes. Mike says, okay, no one kill me, but I used ChatGPT to do some research on how to write a mystery, and it got my mind going, and I now know who the murderer is. Ooh, and what the motive is. I am glad to hear that. So, there's a lot of discussion going on about ChatGPT. I think as long as you're not using it to write your story, um, I don't know, because essentially ChatGPT is not artificial intelligence. It's looking through the internet and piecing together. It's if you're using it as a search engine, it's just returning to you the consolidated average of everything it's finding. So yeah, as long as you're not having it do the writing for you, which I think in that case you're only cheating yourself, but I think doing it for research, as long as you maybe then, like, if you're looking up factual stuff or medical stuff, I would encourage you to, well, if it's medical, consult a doctor, or go to a reputable medical source. Um, yeah, you to poke around on the internet. Um, I should probably at some point. I've been avoiding doing a Right Now podcast episode on AI or large language models, since they're not intelligent; they're just algorithms. Um, and I've been avoiding it a little bit because I feel like it's really polarizing. But I do have definite like thoughts and opinions um, on how it can be used ethically and how it is often not used ethically. So get to that at some point. Lynn made a lasagna. Perfect. Perfect. What more could you want out of a Wednesday evening than a delicious lasagna? I love it. I love it. Carmen says I ended up knitting part of a scarf. Words weren't working. Yeah, Lynn, or I'm sorry, Carmen. Like those, that's been me like every day this week, which is why I recorded a Right Now podcast episode because it's easier for me to speak sometimes than it is for me to write down those things. And so I put off my writing uh in favor of some talking. So, oh my gosh. Okay, Allie says this one woman is my 44th great grandmother and also my second cousin 41 times removed. I don't even know. I don't even know what once removed. I'm not into like genealogy stuff. Not that it's, not interesting, but I just haven't ever looked into it. Um, but wow, that sounds complicated. Lynn says I majorly struggle with that. I've had to change my self-talk a bunch, yes, this past year. Yeah. Um, Lynn says I use AI to put my own work in there and it makes the amazing lead magnets and titles for my work. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to use it. And I think as long as you're, well, that's a whole nother topic. Um, JC Henry says, I agree. It felt like time flew. Good. Tiffany says, well, I don't know if that's good or not, but Tiffany says, I'm working on less show and more tell in my current scene. Oh, oh, I'm a journalist, Tiffany continues. So I don't always feel comfortable putting my real thoughts in my blog. That's why I like fiction writing. Yeah. I I think you're probably not alone at um I use fiction writing in the same way that like I used to use my blog or a diary or a journal. So I do still journal. I have um my bullet journal that I use to keep myself sane and to keep myself from forgetting important things. Um, but I do a lot of my processing in the fiction that I write, through what characters are going through and what they're facing and the challenges that they're looking at. I think that I feel like that's a good way. I'm not a therapist and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I feel like as a writer, that's a good and healthy way to process things. But again, not a medical professional. So, yes. Lynn says, anyone else in the room not able to write when they're stressed? Yes. Yes. Because your focus is like totally shifted. You're focusing all of your energy, your brain is going toward like stress, and your creativity is like over here. This is again not a medical professional, obviously, but yes, I it's really, even if I set aside time and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to think about this stressful thing for an hour. So then I can write for an hour and then I can worry about stressful thing. I end up worrying about stressful thing because we're human and that's how our brains work. Oh, okay. Allie says a cousin first, one time removed is someone who's my mom's direct cousin. So their kids would be my cousins twice removed and so on. Okay. Yes. That's so complicated. JC Henry says fiction is better than real life sometimes. Hmm. I'm just gonna agree with you on that because I mean I think that's why we have fiction. We need the escape, we need the I don't know, different ways of existing in our minds, if not in the world. Um, I don't know, reading is really important to me. Reading and writing fiction are both really important. Mike says I use it for research in my steampunk world, but I do the writing myself. Yeah. Although some of the more anti-AI people have given me grief for using pro writing aid for grammar, punctuation, spelling, etc. That's one of those lines that's like, I don't know. I mean, if you're using Microsoft Word, spell check is an algorithm. It's an AI in that very it's not based on a large language model. It's based on like whatever's programmed in, but it's serving the same purpose. I don't know. I mean, if their argument is like, oh, you should be paying a human being to do this, I don't know many independent writers that can afford to do that. Um, and at that point, I don't know if you would pay someone to do it so much as like, you know, ask a friend to do it, or I don't know. Yes, Allie, I agree. AI in and of itself isn't evil. It's just based on how you use it, right? And like we've been using AI, and I keep using it in quotes because it's not intelligence. It's an algorithm. It's a large language model. It is like it can't learn. It just can aggregate data. And we've been using it, in algorithms. We've been using it in other things um, before this whole boom came out. So yeah, it can be used for good and bad. It's a tool. If you use it to write your novel and you just say, dear Chat GPT, please generate a novel for me about this and this and this, and then you like publish it and pass it off as your own work, I think that's really shady and unethical. Um, yeah, exactly. It's like any tool, Lynn says. So, I mean, it's a big discussion, and like my dad is like, they had for whatever reason they had a class on AI at his senior center. My dad is 75 and he took this class on AI and he now uses Chat GPT for everything. And he uses it more like a search engine. Um which is sort of the angle that I've been coming at it from. Like he'll type in, who was the pope in this year or, whatever. Um but it was also kind of funny. He learned the limitations because he looked up like how to boil an egg and whatever the aggregate data that ChatGPT pulled, like he like destroyed these eggs. And my mom was just I don't know, she was laughing. I don't know. So again, it's a tool. It has its limits. I don't love that it has been that companies that create it for all copyrighted work. I don't know. There's just so much going on with it. Um, yes, AI can't create art. Yes. Oh wow, Lynn says I heard a story of a publisher who took someone's work, put it in AI, and made a book from her work and then published it without her. That is disgusting. That is unethical. That yep. Nope. Nope. Yeah, nope. Mm-mm. Yeah, Sarah says I use Chat GPT when I have a mental breakdown because I can yell at it. It keeps telling me I'm right. I feel less like a failure talking to it. That reminds me, like for years I've been using this little app on my phone called Woebot, like WOEBOT. And it's basically cognitive behavioral therapy bot. And you put in like how you're feeling and it kind of walks you through some CBT steps about how to work through how you're feeling. And like that's what we would call now like an AI, and it's helpful. So I have there's a lot going on. Right. Yes. 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 Wow. Tiffany says my local library is teaching people how to use AI to write books. Ah, I love libraries and I love writing books. And I love the idea of encouraging people who don't generally write to write books. That is maybe not the way to do it. That is maybe not the way to do it. Oh, goodness. Wow. That was yikes. That's yikes. I know. Allie says I need the AI on my phone doing spell check to chill. LOL. Yes. Mine is very aggressive and it thinks that I don't know, that I want to say things that I don't want to say. Yeah, that's a bad look, Allie says about that library. That's, I don't know. Ah, gross. Yeah, I cannot get behind that. I love libraries, but they can make mistakes. That is a mistake. Well, friends, thank you for being here tonight. Um, There we go. It's been, as we've been discussing all evening, it's been a little bit of a rough week, and it's only Wednesday. Um, but we're gonna rest. We're gonna do what we can to make things better. I have physical therapy tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. And oh, hugs for everyone. Yes, yes. Loud motorcycle. Goodness. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. You guys are all so kind. I love doing these. I'm here for it. I had a good time doing a little bit of writing, a little bit of chatting. Yeah, these we host these. If this is your first one, again, hello and welcome. I host these, I guess, every Wednesday and Friday. So feel free to pop by either day. Friday we go a little bit longer. And I'm still kind of experimenting with what that time window looks like and what works best. So keep your eyes, I guess, peeled, which is really gross. Um, oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, good. Lynn says these sessions are my self reward for getting my client work done. That's wonderful. Oh, I love that. Jace, oh, good. Tiffany says, thank you. JC Henry says, yeah, I understand that as well. Thanks again. Yes, we'll see you Friday. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves. Hydrate a lot of water. I know Davis isn't here, but I want to remind you all to hydrate. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And I will see all of you again soon. All right. Bye for now.